Welcome back to the Defining Wellness Confab. I'm Denise O'Malley, your host for the series of health and wellness experts that we are bringing to you under the name of the Defining Wellness Confab and the founder of You Define Wellness. And it is my pleasure to introduce you to the health and wellness experts that I know. So when you're on your search for finding someone that you can work with, I've got the people for you. And this morning, we're going to kick it off with a conversation with Dena Adams. We're going to be talking about her faith. We're going to be talking about life's challenges. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Dena, thank you very much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be here.
My pleasure. So we always start off, Dena, with you telling us a little bit about who you are and what you're doing.
So a little about me. I'm a mom and a wife. I've been with my husband for 19 years. We have 5 kids, and our youngest is 17, so we're almost empty nesters.
Oh my God.
I say that, but we still have 3 at home. And I have struggled with my faith my entire life. It was an on again, off again, didn't really have the influences that I needed to understand it. But I knew it was in my heart that that's something I had to have in my life. And so being a stay-at-home mom, being an entrepreneur, I learned that my calling was to help other mom and wife entrepreneurs figure out how to put their faith at the foundation of their life, regardless of whatever faith you have. So that you stop feeling like you have to compartmentalize, my business is over here, my job is over here, my children are here, no more faith first, family second, career third. It's like, let's bring it all together into one place because it's one life. You have one life, you have one faith. So let's live from that space and build a solid foundation that all of that can grow from. And so that's what I help my clients do.
Yeah, faith in the business world tends to get shoved aside.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as that's not something you can talk about. But then, by the same token, I never know where I'm going with my conversations, Dena. So, this is the way my mind works. Okay,
let's have fun.
Yeah. The other side of it is wearing your Christianity on your sleeve in a business environment. And I'm going to say that it is 2 completely different things. Faith is how you operate your life. Christianity is something completely different. And unfortunately with me, when I would work with someone who wore their Christianity on the sleeve, it wasn't a good experience. So kudos to you for focusing on the faith. And so how do you, what is it that you're doing with your clients?
So with my clients, what I like to do is I dive into their past. I focus a lot on self-discovery. That's my favorite place to be. It's what comes after therapy, but before personal development. It's that gap that is lost. And I found that because I went to many therapists, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, medications, all that to try and help me with my depression, my anxiety, the suicidal tendencies I was having when I was younger, like all that. And they couldn't get me to a certain point. And then I heard about personal development. So I was like, okay, let me try this side of it. And it was like, great, you want me to start from here and make all these affirmations of where I want to go, but I'm still bound to the chains that created me to be who I am in my past. So I dove into myself and said, where do I find this? So that's what I help my clients do is, where do you keep getting stuck? What do you keep struggling with? Where do you keep having issues? Whether it's, a lot of us have medical conditions, mental health conditions that we think the only way to fix it is medication. But I've gone the natural route, and I do oils, and I use massage therapy, and I use, and I'm going to forget what it's called, emotion code.
Oh, emotion code. Yes. Love it.
The metaphysics, I love it because there's things that I read about in the Bible that I'm like, oh, I know someone that does that. That's so cool. Because people don't correlate the two. They just really don't. And so having this space was so important to me because I had the hardest time finding people doing these different modalities that could help me, because the belief was, if you're Christian or you're Muslim or you're Jewish or you're all these things, you're completely disconnected and shun the metaphysical arena of everything. And that's where I am a little different, where I just kind of embrace it all and know what my faith is and know what I feel comfortable with. And so in doing all of that, I learned that the reason I was still getting stuck in my life was because of where the root of the problem was.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In medicine, if you break your arm, if you want it to heal properly and not have future issues, you go get it set, you get everything done right.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the internal piece, we aren't taken back to the root because a lot of people don't know how to get us there. And the one thing with most of my clients, they're like, I never would have thought that that would have triggered this. I thought it was a money mindset issue. I thought it was just, self-doubt. I thought it was all these things. And I will say 99% of the time, it's never what they think it is, because so much is surface level. A lot of us are too afraid to dive really deep into these things for fear of triggering the mental health piece, which is why I encourage my clients to always have mental health professionals on board. I work with them, we team up, we help them together, because if you don't hit all aspects of your mind, body, spirit health, you cannot fully move forward in success in your parenting, your marriage, your finances, your business, your job. Like you can't have one healthy life moving forward if you're not willing to address all areas as a whole thing, like a whole person.
Wow. So at the beginning of your story, it sounded as though you had to find your own way.
Absolutely.
So, I think almost everyone that I work with at You Define Wellness in the network, as well as the people who I'm just affiliated with outside of our network, have one thing in common, and that is they are doing what they're doing because they've had to walk on that path. They had to find the path themselves,
Mm-hmm.
or for themselves or for a loved one in their family. And that's what I think makes you guys all so incredibly great, because you did have to find that path. And for those watching this, I'm going to digress a little bit here. This is the person that you want to work with if you're trying to find your path. Holy cow. She's been there. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm impressed by something that you said, that you want, or you encourage them to have a mental health professional in addition to you. So you're not a mental health professional.
No.
You're just helping them accumulate the toolbox.
Right. I am a certified life coach.
Okay.
And I do have a long history in business. Since I was 12, as soon as business classes were available, because that's what I was told I had to have to make it in a job, I took every business class offered through middle school, high school, college. I did everything business focused. So I have had my own businesses in the past. I ran an accounting company. I was a cosmetologist and did everything independently for a very long time. And so, and that was in the middle of having to have jobs along the way and working in corporate America before I got to those points.
Right.
So I learned a lot of what it's like to work in an office with having faith. I learned what it's like to feel like, even as a mom, you go to these things for the school and you feel judged all the time because you're not perfect, but you're a Christian, or, you're not perfect, but you say you have faith in some denomination. And, it's constant judgment. And when it came to working with the therapists and psychologists and everything, and I loved them, I had great ones. The problem is there's so much they don't learn in school.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have life experience, because a lot of them come right out of college and go right into their business, and they just have a heart for helping people. But it comes down to sometimes, is it within their scope of practice? Because not every mental health professional can work on every problem, just like not every life coach or every doctor. There's specialties all over. So make sure you're getting the right health professionals. I help people, part of what I do is I help them create a support system in their personal life, their medical life, their mental health life, whatever that they need. I help them create that support system so they're going to the right people for the right things, so that it helps them grow and keep moving forward. Because let's face it, there are some things that I can't go to my husband for.
Right.
There are some things I can't go to my best friend for. There are some things I can't go to my collaborators for. I can't go to my primary care physician for my neurological issues. Like, I can't, you have to know who to go to. And the problem I feel like is so much of the societal norm is forced onto us that we're actually afraid to step out of that and say, no, I'm not going to do it, and find that strength to stand alone in that space and hold that space for ourselves when we don't have someone else holding it for us.
That just blows my mind. No, I love it. And it's, I've known you for a little while now, and that's something that I hadn't really understood about what you're doing, is helping people create their support systems. So kudos to you for doing that. It's nice to know that that resource is out there, and somebody who knows what they're doing about all of it. And this, it's their job. Now, you said something I want to clarify, and we talked a little bit about faith. When you're talking about working with people and on a faith-based system, you're not talking about just working with Christians. You're talking about people who have a faith, no matter what it might be, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I work with people who are very, very metaphysical. And so it's the universe, and it's, however they see it. It's whether you're Muslim or Jewish, or my brother-in-law and he's Jewish, and we have the best conversations about faith and religion, because there's a mutual respect of, I want to know what you believe so I can respect you where you are, just like I ask others to respect me where I am. I'm not here to change everybody. I'm not an evangelist. That's not my gift. Right? That is not my gift. I love people. I love helping people. The big thing is people have to be very open-minded and willing to accept the differences. Yeah. They have to be willing to accept things they don't agree with. And, this is something that I actually learned as my daughter was going through eating recovery treatment, because she has an eating disorder we recently learned about. And one of the things we had to do was accept something about the person that we cannot change.
Yeah.
And that's got to be something that we have to be okay with. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I will accept, that I can't change other people's faith. I can't change what they believe in, but I can help them dive deeper into themselves and help them change themselves to become who it is they want to be based on their values and their principles. My coaching is very personalized. I have a backbone of it, but it's all about the person I'm working with and helping them become who they want to be. So it's not really me saying you have to do all these things. It's, here's what you need to do to dive into yourself to find out. And then I help you take that and grow it into what you want it to become, regardless of faith, regardless of relationship. I mean, I have friends in different faiths. I have, with different religious backgrounds and all of that, because if you're so closed off, and, I really don't mean to offend anyone with their faith and how they believe, but when you're very closed-minded and feel like the way you believe is the only way, your awareness of the world is about this much.
Yep.
And, when they say people only use 10% of their brain, I think a lot of it is we aren't open to the possibilities of the unknown, because it's unknown. No one else has done it. No one else has said it. And people don't want to be the one that says something different, because it's very uncomfortable. There's a lot of judgment that comes with it. But we wouldn't have anything in this world today that we have without people being willing to step out in their own creativity. We're all just a piece of the puzzle. We all have to find a way to come together. And the one common thing in all faiths, all religions, is love. Like, if you just love each other and accept each other for who we are, and help each other be better versions of ourselves, that's where we're able to do a lot more things throughout the world and help a lot more people.
Love it. Everything that you said. This is a good transition for me to ask this question.
Okay.
And that is, somebody comes to you and says, Dena, I want to work with you. What is the process going to look like?
So the process is really simple. First, it's a matter of what their goals are. Is it personal? Is it business? Is it both? What are we looking at? I like to know what their perception is of how long they think this is going to take. And I debunk that right away. I've had so many people, they just want to get in and out in 6 weeks. And I'm like, we need 6 months. And they're like, what? Like, yes, because, and I learned this from all the clients that I've had going, wow, we worked together for 3 months and I need like 6. Like 3 months is not enough. 4 months is not enough. And it's because people have never been to the place that I take them, so they don't know what to expect. It's not like you can look on a map. And so that's the other piece, the second piece is get over the expectation of time. You have to be willing and open to take whatever time it takes. We set a plan together. We set our pricing. We put the whole plan together because this is for them, right? This is their journey to reach their goals. And then we set the dates and times that work for them. And then my assistant will send out contracts and invoicing and set all of that up. And then we jump on. I do everything virtual. I love face-to-face. And so this is the next best thing.
Right.
We have to do phone. I do, but I prefer not to, just because there's so many distractions when you're on a phone. If you're on video, you have to get things prepared, right? You have to get things to a place where you can sit down and have a video conversation with people. And then we just kind of go from there. I try to keep it super simple. I don't like all the crazy whatever. Right. I do everything pretty much I still do everything one-on-one right now.
So, and that's fantastic. So where are you working with people?
I do it on Zoom.
Okay. So you're actually, when you're saying face-to-face, they don't have to physically come to you in Fort Collins?
No. Oh, no. I don't have any in-person clients.
Okay. I was misunderstanding. So you can work with people from anywhere in the world.
Yes, and I do. I've had clients in Canada to Australia to the UK to all over the place. So
what types of things are going on with someone's life that they would want to come see you?
It's really a matter of they're ready for something different. They're like, I've tried all the things. I'm still struggling in my marriage, or I'm still struggling with my parenting, or, I mean, let's face it, my oldest is 24 and I still struggle, right? Like there's struggles that come along with every area of life. Maybe it's your business, maybe it's your job, maybe it's your interpersonal relationships. Maybe like if you're getting stuck anywhere along the way and it's that same thing that you say, I'm just tired of this continuing to happen. The same thing keeps happening over and over, the same relationships, the same problems, the same conversations, the same stuck points. I like to say it doesn't matter if you're making $0 or 8 figures. There are things that we never touch, that we never look at because we're trained and encouraged to just start here and move forward and leave everything behind. But when you're bound by that chain, there's only so far you can go. And then you have to keep shifting gears because you can't ever go farther in that one space. So if you just feel stuck anywhere, and even if you don't know if we're the right fit, let me know. I have a huge network of people along with Denise. I love to refer people out because I'm not the perfect person for everybody. But I love helping people sometimes just have a conversation. Take 15, 20 minutes. Let's have a chat. And if we're not a good fit, and I will tell people, like, if I can't help you, I will get you to someone who will, because this isn't about me having the most clients I can. It's about me helping millions of people so they can go and do the same.
So that tone we heard was that we're getting to the end. What did you want to include that we have not yet?
The one thing that I think is so important for people to understand is, in order to create the change you want in your life, you have to be willing to change yourself. You have to be willing to go internal to those dark, deep places of your soul that nobody ever wants to see. They shut it down on lock. It's their past issues, right? Their past traumas, their past hurts that are so painful. And you have to be willing to go there to heal those places the right way, so you can move forward in your gift and what you were created to do, to be an effective piece of the puzzle in this world.
Oh, that just made me feel good. Thank you for sharing it. And on that note, I'm going to move into telling you all a little bit about You Define Wellness, because Dena Adams is part of the You Define Wellness Network. And a lot of people do not know who we are yet, because we've been building now for about 3.5 years, and we're starting to grow nationwide. But what we are is a network of health and wellness professionals nationwide. We are operating right now in 8 states. We are growing by leaps and bounds. We hope to be in 50 before I retire. And one of the things that's different about us, and yes, we are an online directory you can access for free, absolutely, and find people who can help you, whether you're on any of our programs or not. But what's different about our directory is that we actually vet our providers. We are doing a criminal background investigation. We're looking at their disciplinary actions and stipulations against licenses. Are they a legal business? And most importantly, their reputation check. And while our investigation shouldn't be taken as the end-all be-all, and you should do your own due diligence, you at least can rest comfortable knowing that those who are listed on our directory haven't just paid us a fee and we've taken just anyone. We are only looking for those who can pass our background investigation. And with this network of professionals, we can do things like create an employee benefit program for the workplace. It's dynamite. If you are in a decision-making role for benefits for your employees, man, you need to take a look at this because it's really great and gives them access to people like Dena. We also have a catalog of wellness education topics. They're available worldwide, some of them through using technology like Zoom. But we have this catalog of education topics, health and wellness education topics. There's dozens in there. We're adding more all the time. So if you are looking for a lunch and learn speaker for your workplace or for a community group or a school group, man, we've got the educators for you. And we do now have, as of this Defining Wellness Confab, we're launching the Healthy Living Savings Card that gives you discounts on health and wellness products and services. And there's a one-time fee for the card. It never expires. And right now we're offering it at half price at $49.50. It's a great benefit for your employees. And whoever is possessing that card can use it for the discounts that our providers offer. And you can even share it with your neighbors if you wanted. So even anyone in your family, friends, whoever. And you'll find out more about this by going to our website at youdefinewellness.com. And we are using the Defining Wellness Confab to let you know about something else. With this network of health and wellness professionals, I can tell you they are all about heart. And one of the things that they really wanted to do is be able to go into the community after a crisis. And living in Colorado, man, we've been in the news with those workplace shootings. But we can put together a workplace crisis support team. And the reason is when crisis hits, trauma resides physically and emotionally in the body, and left untreated, it's going to crop up days, weeks, months, years later. We can bring in a variety of practitioners, not just the counselors and the psychotherapists. We can bring in acupuncturists, massage therapists, energy healers. We have over 130 modalities, and so we can bring them in to help support your employees. And we are spinning this off as a nonprofit. We are getting our funding in place right now to do that. If you're so if you're so inclined to do so, we welcome any donations to it. And it's at paypal.me/youdefinewellness. And of course, the last slide I have for you is how to contact Dena. And I encourage you to reach out to her, see if you're a fit for working together. Her phone number is there. Go to her website, take a look at what it is that she has on her website. But we definitely reach out to her. And if you didn't get a chance to write that down fast enough, there's this really great rewind button. Go back and get it written down. So that with that being said, Dena, I am eternally grateful to you for joining me on this. This was a great conversation, and I am really glad that we were able to go into some of the points that we did.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I love having these conversations and just being able to share how I can help other people. So this was awesome.
Absolutely. And for those watching, wherever you're watching this recording, go over to our YouTube channel. Just put You Define Wellness in the search bar for YouTube. You will find this, and we have 4 dozen presentations that we're uploading during this Defining Wellness Confab. But we also have dozens more that have been on there, interviews with providers, more like this, talks about health insurance. There's a ton of stuff. So go check it out. And while you're there, follow us so that you can get notifications on new content. With that being said, again, Dena, thank you. And thank you all for watching.